You're watching Channel 4, the local station. Live with Bruce Hamilton, Amanda DeVoe, the Weather Authority forecast with Richard Nunn, and traffic and breaking news with Sky 4. The morning show continues.
The FBI is looking for nuclear documents at Mar-a-Lago, according to a new report. The steps needed to unseal the full motivation for the raid on Donald Trump's home.
An attack on an FBI building, the warning signs revealed on social media before the deadly standoff.
Her is now facing murder charges. The toxic relationship, her attorney says, led to the stabbing. And good morning to you and happy Friday. A lot of people excited about today, of course, and you know why.
Yep, you got the Jags game, you got the weekend, and we got some rain, Rich.
I think she was talking about finally Friday being the reason that we're excited. All right, let's go ahead and get you into where we're seeing some of the showers. Changing the view. This is the way it looks here via our radar, so it's not as enhanced as when I kick in the national composite, but this does reach into the Gulf. Shows you the same that we started with yesterday. The difference is the focal point here, instead of broad across the entire region, will really be across southeast Georgia and then enhanced later tonight as that frontal boundary comes through. You see lightning strikes almost 100. This is the complex that sits off the Carolina coastline. Meanwhile, coastlines, whether it's the Gulf Coast, the Atlantic Coast, or here through the Caribbean waters, no tropical development expected. 8 miles viz here for Palatka. As we move over to Baldwin, we're back to 10 here. That's a trend that continues all the way through the circle and out to the area beaches. And under our darkened skies, temperatures right now 74 degrees, and we're showing clouds here with what will be calm conditions and light haze to the south thus far. 70s, these are widespread. We'd put that right into St. Johns County here with temperatures, and as you can see from the water temperatures, we're still in the 80s, giving us some summertime to be had beachside, and maybe this is the last day. Earlier is going to be better with a chance for showers and storms kicking in. And like I said here, you're getting the kids ready. Southeast Georgia has the enhanced chance. You'll want to grab the wet weather gear for the walk home. And also because of the sea breeze, the push and shove, and what could be some locally heavy coastal downpours, I-95 all the way out to the beaches, I would say the kids back to St. Johns and Flagler County, you'll want to grab some of that gear also as you head back home. It could be rather wet. Temperatures here for today only taking us to the upper 80s and lower 90s, and that's both north and south. The beaches mainly in the 80s here for today with what will be that south and westerly flow, helping you here on this Friday and possibly into the start of the weekend. If you got to get it done, morning hours will be best. It'll get soggy this afternoon. Saturday is not really just a complete washout, but because of the multiple rounds that we're expecting, doesn't look like it'll be the best to drag around the mower, so maybe Sunday will be the day. If not, things do start to settle down as we get you into the early part of next week. Let's break down the weekend and get you started here on a finally Friday. I'll see you back at 5:45.
Former President Donald Trump says he wants the warrant on his Mar-a-Lago home released.
Justice Department has already asked a judge to unseal the records. Amy Kiley explains the FBI was looking for documents concerning nuclear weapons.
It could range from anything, and now that we have this information about nuclear information.
The Washington Post cited people familiar with the investigation who said that's what FBI agents were looking for as they searched former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago home.
Multiple sources said that escalated their desire that they believe those documents were there to get in immediately.
The FBI's search warrant and the property receipt it gave Trump could indicate if that's true. Attorney General Merrick Garland says he wants to unseal them and make them public.
Public documents are obviously something about which he can comment. And so at that moment, he had created, in one sense, a justification to speak publicly.
Some Trump supporters have accused the Justice Department of unfairly targeting Trump. Unsealing the documents could neutralize those arguments, but Trump says on social media he's encouraging the release. His lawyer has already revealed the FBI seized about 12 boxes of items Monday. That's on top of 15 the government says it took in January and other sensitive documents retrieved in June. That was after a grand jury subpoena.
It begs the question, what are you doing with those documents? Because it's not simply just to put them in a picture frame on a wall.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Man who stormed an Ohio FBI building called for violence days after the Mar-a-Lago search.
FBI agents say the suspect went into the Cincinnati office. He was armed with a nail gun and an AR-15 rifle while wearing body armor. Officers say he made it inside the visitor screenings facility and fired the nail gun at agents. The suspect, however, didn't get into the building and instead drove off. Ohio Highway Patrol chased the man to a cornfield where a shootout began. Officers say there was an hours-long standoff where the suspect later died. No officers were hurt.
The FBI says the man posted on Trump's social media site Truth Social about trying to get into the building. He also posted a number of times after the search at Trump's residence. One comment called for people to arm themselves and be ready for, quote, combat.
It's unknown why that specific FBI office was attacked. Director Christopher Wray says the agency condemns this type of rhetoric. He adds violence against law enforcement is not the answer.
Former National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien will testify for the January 6th committee today. Panel says he may have been involved in high-level discussions about the 25th Amendment after the Capitol riot. O'Brien said he thought about resigning over Trump's response to the attack. In the end, he decided to remain on the job. Meantime, former Transportation Secretary Elaine Chao, who resigned a day after the attack, has also spoken to the committee. A social media model is accused of killing her boyfriend, but her attorney argues she may have been defending for herself. Courtney Coleman is accused of stabbing her boyfriend back in April. Police have now released video from months earlier. It shows the two appearing to fight in an elevator. Her defense attorney says the pair had a rocky relationship. Catherine Rundle adds that she's confident Coleman will be seen as a domestic abuse survivor.
Evidence gathered during the investigation of Christian's death showed that since November of 2020, he and the defendant, Courtney, had been involved in an extremely tempestuous and combative relationship.
So, yes, there's no physical evidence that led us to believe that she was actually physically harmed in any way the day of the incident.
Courtney has waived her extradition and will come back to Florida. Right now, she's being held in Hawaii.
You no longer have to quarantine if you come in contact with a person infected with COVID-19. That's according to the latest guidance from the CDC. The nation's top public health agency relaxed its guidelines yesterday. It also says people no longer need to stay 6 feet away from others. The changes come after health officials recognized 95% of Americans have gained some level of immunity from being either infected or vaccinated. The CDC also dropped a test to stay recommendation, which says students exposed to the illness could regularly test instead of staying at home to keep attending school. Also, if you were exposed to COVID-19, the FDA is recommending you take 3 at-home tests instead of 2 to make sure you're not infected. Health officials say new studies suggest the old protocol can miss too many infections and could result in people spreading the illness to others. The new guidance applies to people who do not have symptoms but think they may have been exposed. People with symptoms can continue using 2 tests spaced out 2 days apart.
Thousands of students are already back in the classroom, and even more are returning in Duval County Monday.
That means more people will be on or around city streets. News 4 Jax reporter Aaron Farrar is live in the newsroom. And Aaron, you spoke with a Jacksonville councilwoman who was reminding people to be cautious.
It's quiet right now, but on Monday, there are going to be a lot of streets that are jam-packed. People either walking, maybe riding their bikes to school, and other people on the roads as well. City Councilwoman Leanna Cumber is encouraging everyone to be aware and stay aware of their surroundings so that people stay safe around the roads. It's that time of year when kids are walking or riding their bikes to school. Jacksonville City Councilwoman Leanna Cumber, who represents the South Bank and San Marco areas, is urging students, parents, and drivers to be aware.
It's a busy world and people spend a lot of time on their phones and so forth, and kids are also walking with phones and biking, and so people just really need to, I think it's really critical to talk about it more.
Jacksonville is now the 6th deadliest city in the United States for pedestrians, according to Smart Growth America, which is a nonprofit aiming to make city streets safer. The River City moved 4 spots in the last year. Greg Driscoll, who works to improve traffic safety, says everyone should be prepared for the unexpected.
Slowing down will not only give them more time to react in case of the unexpected, but it also dramatically increases the chances of survival if a student is hit. Impacts over 45 miles an hour are most likely to end in a fatality.
According to Florida Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles, in Duval County so far this year, 27 pedestrians have been killed. There have been 2 bicyclist deaths, 169 cyclists have been injured, and 261 pedestrians have been injured. Cumber says her mission is to bring those numbers down.
Just remind people to slow down when you're in the neighborhoods, watch for kids, because a lot of this, I think, is just talking to your neighbors and really all of us looking out for everyone.
And both Cumber and Driscoll say it's a good idea to add some more visibility to crosswalks and to bike lanes to make them stand out, especially for drivers, whether that's painting them a color like green or adding flashing lights to catch people's attention. Reporting live in the newsroom, I'm Aaron Farrar, Channel 4, the local station.
It's easier than ever to get live local news on most devices. News4JAX Plus is streaming now. Search News4JAX on your streaming device to download. Peloton's trying to outrun another lawsuit.
The feature some have called misleading. As we head to break, here's a live look outside from the White Room at our nation's oldest city, St. Augustine, where skies are clear for now, but you just heard Richard. Time now is 5:41. It is 78 degrees.